going on, guys? So here's an update on the car. I just laid down the sealer. This is black sealer. So basically the reason why you're applying the sealer is that way the paint has something to really bite on. You can apply it directly to the car, the base coat, but there is chances that there might be little imperfections that you didn't catch, and this will seal that. So that's why I laid it down. So this is it. As you guys can see, body lines are nice and straight. The hood, remember the hood had waves. Also no waves. Looking really nice. And this is just a sealer, like I said. Still needs to dry. Looking really good. Love it. Here's the back. The back also has some scratches along these areas. Nice and flat now. As you guys can see here, this was the panel that had maybe the most body work. You don't see any waves. This thing is flat. So I pray once I lay down the clear, this thing is gonna look amazing. This is it. You can spray right over this. You don't have to sand it. You just have to wait for it to cure, and then you're able to spray your base coat over it. But I'm going to let it cure, and I'm going to block it just for that extra. I want it to be flat. I literally want this paint to look like glass once I'm done. So it's all in the prep work. You know, the painter also, but mainly I would say most of it is in your prep work. You always want to prep your cars right, even if it takes you a lifetime to get this thing perfect. But you'll definitely regret it if you don't take your time and do it correctly. You will definitely regret it. You know, a car that you care about. I'm not saying a hoopty, you know. I wouldn't do this for a damn hoopty ever. But I definitely would do it for this. So I'll update you guys in a little bit once I lay down the base coat. But not even. Once I sand it, you'll see the difference between how it looks now to sanding, and then I'll base coat it. I'll show you guys the color. I don't know if I did or not, so if I did, then you guys seen it. If I didn't, then you guys would pretty sure love the color. So this is the second coat of sealer on the car. Looks really nice and flat. Any imperfections that I did see earlier are covered. Like I said, before I paint it, I'm gonna sand it down one more time and then give it the base coat. So the car is sealed, it's dry. I'm sanding down. Basically, if I see any dust on the top, I'm going to sand it, and most likely I'm just gonna give the car a quick sand anyways, just very quickly, because I don't have to. I'm just doing it to get rid of any little dirt specks, because I am spraying in just, you know, regular garage, so I do have some on the sealer now, so I don't want that to be underneath the paint. Just in case I do get some on the base coat, I can sand them off, you know, so just makes it easier. I started already. As you can see, this is it, already sanded. This is where I started, so I'm gonna go throughout the whole car and see any little imperfections. But as you can see right here, I don't know if you can really see them. Maybe on the hood. Feel like this right there. Now, I know it's tiny, but you know, if there's a few, you're gonna end up noticing them. So that's what I'm gonna do. Sand it down real quick, and then I'll show you guys once I'm done sanding. What's up, guys? So here's another update on the car. The car is completely sealed with black sealer. Usually you don't have to sand it before painting over sealer, but I did. Just wanted the surface to be as flat as possible, and luckily I did, because I did end up finding some spots that I had to take care of. So here the car is. I have the car taped up somewhat again, because I had to primer some edges, like throughout this edge right here and the edge on the bottom right there, just because I had my dad helping me and he broke through on some spots, and I don't want to risk, you know, since they're broken through, I don't know if you guys ever seen, sometimes you get maps, outer edges of the spot that you broke through, you get like a map going around it, and I don't want that to happen. So this is why I'm taking the extra time to primer it again, and then I'll hit it with 400, and that's it. That's done. Here's, you know, a couple more spots. That's just what I'm doing right now. It's basically, I taped up the whole car, and then I'm using these just to not get overspray on everything. So here it is. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that white line right there. Like, that's broken through, so I primered it. That right there, that's another primer spot. As you can see, like right there, you see those lines? That's where it broke through, right? So right on the edge of the whole entire thing, sometimes these little lines will come up. I call them little maps. They'll come up, and I don't want that to happen, so this is why I'm doing this now. I got some around here. I got a line right there. I haven't primered this spot yet. I'm gonna tape off in there and stuff because of the door jamb being right there. But this is the car. That's the color that the car is going. I've done the door jambs a while ago, like 2 years ago or a year ago. I don't. But this is it. So once I take care of those little primer spots, I can set myself up and get ready for the car to be painted. So this is what I use to clean the surface. Right there. Surface cleaner. I use the Acme brand, Finish one. Yeah. It's whatever you prefer. Alright, so here I got a new gun water and oil separator filter for my spray gun. I got some plastic just from Home Depot. I think these were like $3, and I put it along on my wall I made this imaginary wall. I just don't want any dust. And then I put this tarp right here that I'm gonna wet all these plastics. That way I don't get any dust on the paint. And on the floor, I'm just gonna wet the floor. I'm gonna scrub it, clean it, and then once I'm done, I will keep the floor wet while I'm spraying. I just don't want anything to happen during painting because the paint is pretty expensive, and then I just don't want anything to go wrong. So I'm just taking the extra time to go through everything, making sure everything is as perfect as I can do it. So once I get these spots primered, I'll sand them, and then I'll show you guys once I'm done. So here's the car, guys. Finished painting it. It's all base coat and clear coated. Right now it has 3 layers of clear. I'm going to be wet sanding it. And then I'm going to re-clear it. I'm gonna let this dry very good. I don't know if you guys can see the gold in it. But as you guys can see, I just sprayed this in my garage, and you guys can see. You can see the reflection of the light, my reflection, camera's reflection. Looking really nice. I love this color. As you can see, there is some little, barely. There's some little dirt. There's one there. I can count them. That's what hard prep work looks like. If you prep right and you clean your area right, paint jobs will come out like this. So, as you can see, here's the top, door handle, the fender, the hood. Look at that. There's no wet sanding yet. This is just straight up, just painted. I'm going to be undercoating all of the frame and suspension and anything that I can make look new again. I'm going to be doing it. Right now I'm going to be putting on air suspension. I got the D2s air ride. Look at the trunk, the way the trunk looks. Looks crazy. Looking really nice. As you can see, like I said, you can count the dirt specks. So there's one right there. I don't know if you can see right there. And I think there's another one right around this area. That's it. But look at how nice that came out. It's beautiful. Really nice. Super excited. Now I need to paint the bumpers, mirrors, and spoiler. The reason why I didn't do it now when I painted the car is because I just didn't have the space, to do it comfortably. So looks so good. So excited, man. Like I said, this car's been sitting for 4 years, 4 to 5 years, just collecting dust. And I'm so glad I'm able to get around to it and do it now. And the battery, I'm gonna probably be relocating it in the trunk, in the spare tire location, because I do plan on cleaning up the engine bay, wire tucking it. I got I think people call it the Moby Dick intake, password JDM intake. I have that, so I have to remove this out of here to be able to run the Moby Dick intake. I do have the relocating battery box, but that only holds that small Odyssey battery, and I don't have one. Maybe if I can afford it later, I can get it. I plan on removing the ABS system. I mean, really nice. Clean it up. Get the metal or the aluminum intake manifold. Move that. Paint the valve cover. I mean, I want to remove the whole engine, transmission, and paint the engine bay. I need to weld this because I think this is very common with RS6s. They end up snapping. This has been like that since I can remember. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. Now I'm gonna do the air ride suspension. Let me know what you guys think of the paint. Like I said, the paint is very, like right now it just looks green. Just basic green. But it's not. It's very, very, very metallic. Look at that. Thing looks beautiful. Let me know.